Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 83 of the Toonami Escape podcast. I'm Greg Zeno. Tonight we have B-Dubs,
Hello.
C. Kohler,
Hey guys.
and it's BB Boy 20. What?
I think he just cursed us.
I think you tried to sound cool but failed. There's no news this week, so let's go straight into Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball Super episode 43, Goku's energy is out of control, the struggle to look after Pan. I love Dad Piccolo.
I know, right?
Grandpa Piccolo is the best grandpa. It shouldn't be that adorable, but it is.
Yeah, somebody was right in the thread. They said that Piccolo really is like the best parent on this show.
Straight up.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Luckily, Gohan learned all his parenting from Piccolo and not Goku.
And his species reproduces asexually, so how the fuck?
Yeah, well, you know.
I guess they don't have because they don't have two separate sexes. It's like every Namekian is like a great parent.
I mean, they have to be. They
Yeah,
only got one, so, you know.
they don't like divvy up responsibilities. They all have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So in this episode, Goku has some sort of weird I can't do energy disease, and he can't do shit.
Yeah, he pulled
Also,
a key muscle.
Yep. Also, it's revealed that Pan inherited Gohan's ultimate genes and is going to be the strongest baby in the universe.
Oh my god, if we're basing it on Jesus Christ, Pan. At this point, it's clear that the more you dilute that Saiyan blood, the stronger they get.
I think it's just the combination of Gohan and Videl because, he's probably got the most potential out of all the Saiyans, and Videl is quite possibly the strongest, potentially regular human.
Except for,
I mean, she has. They've all been trained, and look how many years it took them to learn how to fly and shit. She learned in 20 minutes.
I kind of see where you're going with this, but I tend to agree more with Grex that Pan is 1/4 Saiyan, and it's yet it seems like every generation that gets removed, they get stronger for some reason.
Part of that is just that. Of course, that's how it goes.
I looked away.
Are they going to get weaker?
Yeah. I looked away from the episode for a minute, and then I looked back and I saw Pan flying in space. And I actually wasn't even sure if that was really happening or if that was a dream sequence or something.
No, Pan can fly it. She inherited Gohan's ultimate form. Apparently, that is something that can be passed down.
Crazy.
Batman's in that lineage somewhere. I'm Batman, and I can breathe in space.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently so can the Pilaf gang. Who were super dead if anyone found out about this.
Oh, yeah, no, they were not going to survive if Piccolo found out.
They were Steely Dan dead.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I like them. I know that they're stupid and goofy comic relief, but I don't know, they're kind of entertaining too.
Yeah.
Next week we get a whole 3-episode arc of the Trunks, Goten, and Monaka. Aren't you excited?
So excited.
Excitement.
Shoot me now.
Wait, we haven't even gotten to that show yet.
Well, you did overlook a couple of funny things in this episode. Ariel showed up.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
From Dr. Slump, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
For 5 seconds.
And she is canonically the strongest person in the world.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. Wasn't she a robot or something?
I have no idea.
I think she
But
is.
apparently she can just... I think at some point she just punches the earth in half and,
Well, she has gag manga powers, so
Yeah.
Right. She's
it's
Looney
like how
Tunes.
one Saitama is the strongest dude in the world because that's the joke.
Mm-hmm.
He can one punch everything because that's the joke.
Someone was wearing her hat at PSX. It's like with a shot of someone in the audience wearing her hat.
That's cool.
I'm not overly surprised.
There was also a scene too where when Goku's powers were messed up. By the way, I just want to say that his whole like key disease or whatever he had is like the most fillery crap I've ever heard.
Oh
It
no,
really
I have
is.
key disease. I can't do anything for
Yeah.
a filler episode.
Right. Like conveniently gets solved. Anyway, when he's trying to use his powers and he's messing everything up, and then he like instant transmits into like Bulma's hotel room when she's showering,
Into her actual house.
or it's her house, yeah. And the Vegeta walks in and he's like, "What the hell are you doing?"
I'm surprised they didn't just straight up go at it right there.
I know.
Like Vegeta instantly goes Super Saiyan Blue.
Like I am a little surprised that didn't happen too, but whatever. It might have been the shock.
I also like how Piccolo was just like, all right, I'm leaving now. And then he can't.
Yeah, he's like, you got to do this for her. You got to do this. And I'm the ultimate nanny.
He is, though. He's the best.
I do kind of feel sorry for his character. That's what he's become.
He even admits it, I think.
Yeah.
But,
Dad.
he's not a Saiyan, so he doesn't have bullshit get stronger all the time powers.
This is true.
There was a line in the episode where Goku's powers were messed up, and Chi-Chi's thought was, "Are you dead again?"
Well, I mean, she's used to it.
I know I love the way she gave that line. It was so deadpan. She's like, "Oh wait, are you just dead again?" I mean, like that happens all the time.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing new. They just get the Dragon Balls.
Speaking
Right.
of that, Dragon Ball Z Kai. Dragon Ball Z Kai, the final chapter is episode 142. Boo gobbles up Boo, onslaught of a new Majin. In this episode, Piccolo's just like, yeah, kill everyone on Earth. It doesn't matter.
30 seconds later. Oops. He thought that would take longer.
No, that hasn't happened yet.
Oh.
But yeah.
I mean, I don't really like this new Boo. He's shitty.
I like his look. I think he looks cool.
I actually thought he was pretty scary. I was actually like, wait, this guy's pretty terrifying.
Yeah,
when
he
he just screams and goes careening into that guy's mouth and just explodes him. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, he's a little bit delinquent-y at this point, I think. Like the way he stands and looks and stuff sort of reminds me of like a high school anime's like delinquent character.
Yeah. He literally looks like if Boo was a bully.
Yeah. I mean, he looks like the kind of guy that would have, bleached blonde hair slicked back and, looking down on everybody and with his hands in his pockets like, hey, I'm the toughest motherfucker here.
Yeah.
So he went from an elementary school student to a high school student.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, he's like the guy who goes to the gym and is like an asshole to everyone.
Oh yeah, he's definitely that guy.
They're trying to do some bench presses. He's over there yelling, "Produce!
Produce!"
I don't even know what that means.
Well,
like,
they said that.
Let me check my gains. Produce!
When he said that, I thought he was talking about Vegeta. But no, they basically said that like he wants them to produce the Ultimate Fighter to fight him.
And it's like, dude, you made a new form. That's not shit anymore. Fusion literally never mattered, ever. It never got a win. Fusion will probably never have an on-screen win, will it?
I don't know.
I think it gets one.
Well,
yeah, it gets one, but not the Trunks Goten Fusion. That gets no wins.
there's a huge list of things that get one win in Dragon Ball.
Yes. And Trunks and Goten are not one of them.
So we've been spending this entire time being like, fusion time, fusion time, fusion time. And this is the point where the author's just like, nah. Goku time.
As always.
No, Gohan time, because he's still training and whatnot. It's not Goku time yet. It's not Goku time yet.
You make funny joke.
It will be Goku time, but not yet.
It's not even going to be Gohan time for like 1 millisecond.
I mean, maybe for like an episode or two. But thinking about how things go later, like Supreme Kai is really, really shitty at his job. Just like ridiculously shitty at his job.
Speaking of shitty at their jobs, Elder Kai.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I'm so sick of that dude. Like, it's not even funny anymore.
Yeah, he's just a giant pervert.
Well, he's not. Well, he's got that part too, but now it's like he's just like reading a funny comic book, and he's just laughing constantly.
You got to sit there for like a day and a half.
Yeah, but it's dumb. I mean, like this is like one of the stupidest things I've seen Toriyama come up with.
Yeah, well, like he's got to power Gohan up while giving Goten and Trunks time to supposedly look cool. I
would have rather them sit in like silent meditation than like have Elder Kai be goofy.
Well, I mean, that's what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, that's my point. It's like Toriyama thinks it's funny if we have this old guy acting like an idiot. It's like, no, don't do this. This is stupid. Everybody hates it.
Anything else on this episode?
It happened.
It's Dragon Ball. Chi-Chi was totally going to go at Super Boo.
With a mop.
She could have taken him.
That would have lasted negative time.
I believe in her. She could have won.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
All right, let's slip the Band-Aid off. Do you want to talk about
Oh,
Can we skip it?
forgot that we can't talk about JoJo yet.
Oh yeah, JoJo's next. We should talk about JoJo.
In this episode of Kill Me. Kill me.
I want to die.
Anime makes me want to be dead.
This show specifically.
Yeah, you guys are going a little far. It's not good, but it's not that bad. We're not at Tokyo Ghoul level yet. Come on.
He straight up screamed out, "My magic is never giving up."
Yeah.
Oh, during that animation sequence, no less.
Oh yeah, they were like, "We've totally earned the black and white defeat animation."
No, they haven't.
In episode 2.
They haven't.
They didn't earn it. It did look good, but they didn't earn it.
It took One Piece so long to get to that point that we didn't even get to see it.
Yeah, and that was a common thing in Gurren Lagann, but then that's Tagashi, or I mean, that's what's his face's style. But it looked cool, but yeah, it didn't feel like this wasn't against some great grand villain. It was just some drunk guy from a bar.
It was against the opening chapter villain dude.
Oh, that's
shonen.
Right. Yeah, that guy. That was that guy. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
The dude you literally never see again.
Right.
Because they suck so much.
Beating up what I would guess is a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Yep.
Most of this episode is a flashback that is 99% filler in episode 2.
Yeah, I mean they could have combined these two episodes. It's so obvious now. Like it could have been one episode. They didn't need the flashback to when Asta and Yuno were kids. Didn't need to be a whole episode. You could have condensed that pretty easily.
Yeah, I already been a bit informed about how the anime adaptation is stretching the manga out. And like, is this? I mean, I just the notes there was like what, 50 episodes total or something, or is it
Mhm.
still ongoing?
No, there's like a number, I believe. It's like 50.
Yeah, it's 50. Because
So why they're stretching it out then?
Because it's the Naruto people.
And they're horrible.
Because fuck them.
Nobody's pressuring them like to be 1-to-1 ratio with the manga. Is just because.
No.
Well, yeah, you don't even have to be 1-to-1 because I think that there's like 100 and some odd chapters. So,
Yeah.
like, if anything, you should be combining chapters to fill 50 episodes.
Yeah.
You'd think.
I mean, there's no reason for them to go into, this sort of filler when they've got 50 episodes and like, what is it, 120, 180 chapters to work with?
Something like that.
I mean, if anything,
Well,
they
see,
should
that's
be doing
confusing.
they should be doing 2, 3 episodes a chapter when they can swing it, not,
It's
filler.
confusing to me, though, because I kind of thought that this was a series that was ongoing.
It is.
Well, then why is there but then why is there a fixed number of episodes?
I don't know.
Because everyone keeps saying that. And that's why I said it. Everyone keeps saying there's about 50 episodes, but I mean, there hasn't been 50 episodes.
No. I mean, I think the original order was for 50 episodes. They might wind up ordering more, but I do feel like it's better for, ongoing series to have fixed number of episode, seasons. That way you don't wind up with, crazy amounts of filler. But,
Yeah.
that's they're completely defeating the purpose to that.
I think that we should probably take the 50 episodes thing with a grain of salt because Black Clover is apparently going to be a tentpole thing
It's
for
not.
Perot. Well, I mean, for them it is. And
They're
then
going to try and make it that.
that's what I mean, yeah. And then on top of that, like it's an ongoing manga, and it's Perot, so we know that like they deliberately stretch things out because they want to never catch up to the manga, right? And
I mean, I will.
maybe that's
I will
why.
say that maybe DeMarco only ordered 50. That might be the case where he's like, okay, this is ongoing, but we're only going to order 50 episodes right now.
Yeah. Well, let's look into that. I mean, not right now, but we'll look into that and figure out like where's this number 50 come from? Maybe it's just like the anime have set a goal for themselves to do 50, but you're right. Maybe there's the option to do more seasons later or something. It's weird.
Oh God, please don't do any more.
I don't want them to.
No. In this episode,
go ahead.
we didn't even talk about what happened in this episode, mostly because nothing does, but
it's a flashback. Oh, yeah, no, it's apparently 51 episodes long.
So some douchebag tries to steal Yuno's amulet, which you just know is going to eventually be revealed as some lost noble family bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because what else would it possibly be?
I mean, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
It is either that or a direct, like the original Wizard King owned it. One of the two.
Shoot me now.
No, you tell that to Zonic, since he has no problem just counting every single time Wizard King has been mentioned.
Oh yeah. No, he's going to be keeping count from now on of Wizard King and my magic is never giving up.
I believe he was keeping track of in a world where magic is everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're both part of the same thing.
And he said at the end of the episode that there were 22 Wizard Kings, which is like literally one a minute.
Yeah, that's way too many Wizard Kings.
That's like one every minute of the episode.
That's just completely ridiculous. I mean, Naruto doesn't say, his, believe it thing that much. He never said believe it that much. Luffy's not constantly going on about pirate kings and shit. And,
They
I mean,
both
even
say
Black,
they say their catchphrases a lot, but not once a
not
minute.
this much. I mean, even
No.
Black Lagoon doesn't curse this much.
Yeah.
He's going to be
You
the
know?
Sorcery Emperor.
That is somehow even worse sounding than Wizard King.
I liked what they said on Toonami Showdown. They called him the Magical Monarch or something.
That's actually kind of funny.
The Magician Monarch.
The Harry Potter. Harry with an eye.
So refresh my memory, if you can. What was the final thing that happened? What was the final thing that happened?
That one of them is gonna be the Wizard King, I guess.
Yeah,
No,
one of them.
I meant at the episode.
He defeated that guy because the flashback was the entire first part of the episode.
Yes, and one of them is going to be the Prestidigitator president.
Well, so wait, but what I mean is, what happened? Like, did they get up, or did they just sit that? Were they just? Did he walk over to him, and then the episode ended? Like, what happened?
I don't know.
Remember.
I don't remember either.
My eyes were bleeding at that point.
I don't care.
Wasn't making the show right for us to be this confused already.
I mean, it's not that confusing. It's just I literally don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I checked out from the first 5 seconds of this show.
No kidding.
Oh, and like the thing is, ultimate ability is essentially a melee weapon. Not like controlling the earth, it's just like a sword made out of nothing, I guess.
In a world where magic is everything, one kid will beat people up.
Well,
this is the Rock Lee story.
He has a book. He has a book because he's some devil something. I don't know.
So he
he's got
and
a
his
fucking
book.
book.
His book turns into a big sword. Right.
Yeah.
That's his
for
power.
reasons that nobody understands.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Guys, let's talk about JoJo.
Yes, please.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders, Episode 17, The Lovers Part 2. I told you guys he was going to get it.
He got it.
He got it. He continued to dig his own grave deeper by forcing Jotaro to rob a jewelry store.
Oh, that was just so bad.
Getting
I'm like,
beat up by the jewelry guys.
I'm just like, JoJo gonna write that down, and he's gonna beat this guy's ass so hard.
And JoJo literally wrote it all down.
Of course he did.
Yeah, everything written down was literally everything the viewer or reader saw. Like, wasn't even stuff anything that was like out of screen or out of the story beat at the moment. Like,
he just wrote that shit down.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it was glorious to the build up and the ultimate, the climax of what he got coming to him.
Ass beat.
I will say though that like it's so it doesn't make sense. Like, it's JoJo, but like,
yeah,
this guy, like, what, like, there's no way. Like, even if like, was he gonna plan on like? Well, no. See, his plan never made sense because he took control of. Oh, I can never remember the old guy's name.
Joseph. How can you not remember Joseph Joestar?
Well, I get them mixed up. I keep saying Jonathan. Anyway, Joseph.
So like 2 parts with this dude.
I know. Jonathan's the same. It's Joseph. Joseph
Jonathan is the one who lost his head and now has Dio's head on his body.
I know who they are. I just can't remember which is which name-wise.
You can almost say they're both JoJo.
Yeah, they both have Joe in their name. Anyway, so Joseph, he like this Steely Dan's plan was that he was going to take over Joseph and put one of those buds in his brain, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he was never going to take over Joseph forever. So there were only two outcomes of this. Either Joseph was going to have a brain bud or whatever, and at which point Steely Dan would no longer control him, and Jojo would beat the crap out of him. Or he would kill Joseph, at which point Jojo would beat the crap out of him. Like,
well,
there was
because they were so far away, Jotaro would not realize. The plan was that Jotaro would not realize when Joseph died, and so he would either move it to Polnareff or Kakyoin, or maybe just Jotaro.
Okay, then there's a third problem, though. The third problem is, of all the people in the world, do you think Jotaro Kujo is going to put up with this shit forever?
No.
Like, at some point, he was going to be like, fuck this. Just beat the shit out of him.
I mean, if you ever moved it over to him, I think Jotaro would have been like, oh, it's in me now? Well, I don't give a shit. I'll beat your ass. I mean, if I'm going to die anyway, you know?
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, like, he may be used to doing this to other people who would be a little more, like, self-conscious or more protective. I think Jotaro would be like, fuck him. I want to punch this guy.
Hey, Kakyoin straight up told him, you should have spent more time learning about your enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It just was a stupid plan, and it just made it all the more glorious that he was going to get defeated, I guess.
God, that beatdown is so satisfying. It's like 20 seconds of punching.
Oh, yes.
Like, it's my aesthetic. Like, seriously, like, when I first, like, saw the video in its Japanese form, like, I couldn't stop watching it. Like, and upon, like, you know, reading it, and then now, you know, watching the dubbed version of it, it's like, I kind of think this was kind of like, I suppose there's many, I suppose it helped accumulate of what came before, but up to now, I think this is the kind of stuff that at least defines part 3 as a whole.
Oh yeah, they really let you stew in that. They really let you stew right before the beatdown. Like, you know it's about to happen, and then it's like 5 minutes of, okay, I guess I'll forgive you. Jotaro, I put my stand into that girl's ear, and he's like, no, you didn't. And then he stabs him with a knife, and then it's like, I'll give you some money. And then you finally get the beatdown.
Like, you just couldn't quit, but it's like, I don't know, it's like, dudes being beat up in anime is normal, but in this case, the color scheme to the colorful person doing the beatdown against this much more normal person, all the yelling of saying aura, it's just, or the fact that the punching just keeps going and going. It's just exactly the kind of shit that makes someone want to, like, tattoo Star Platinum on their leg.
Yeah, it's awesome. And here's a legit question too, and I know you're going to get a knee-jerk reaction to this answer, but really think about it for a second. Did he die?
No.
You don't think so? Okay. I couldn't tell.
I believe it said he retired. he retired.
Retired from consciousness.
From not being a paraplegic.
He retired from not being a part of the pavement.
Retired from not being just a lump.
You know, I want to say I forgot the actor who plays COD, but like Ray Chase, when they're playing like in the pathetic, like, begging form, like they almost like their voices like almost completely different. And for the actor who plays Stanley, I've never heard him actually sound like that before. And oh my god, the patheticness he was able to emit is just so fucking good.
Like, the best part about this beatdown is that Steely Dan isn't even some super strong dude. He's just a complete asshole.
Yeah, and he kind of plays like, well, yes, I may be the weakest.
Like, it wouldn't be satisfying if
makes me the strongest.
Like, it wouldn't be satisfying if he was like like really strong. Like, oh shit, this dude's super threatening. It would have been you know, he has to be this complete dick. Just the most pathetic person on the face of the earth.
Yeah, Araki knew what he was doing with this character. This whole the whole storyline, or this part arc, or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, story-wise, this was actually kind of weak. I mean, as far as like, it was predictable. Like you just knew, you knew like 5 minutes in what the ultimate outcome of this. It was just enjoyable to watch it unfold.
I mean, they tell you 5 minutes into the first episode that this dude is gonna get the shit beat out of him.
Yeah.
Because they all just walk up to him and be like, "You're gonna fucking die." And then at that point, it's just simmer.
Yeah.
Put it on the stove and let it simmer.
Let it sit, and that's okay. You know.
So yeah, like all this stuff. Go ahead.
You know, no, I mean sometimes the build up to something you know is coming is still really good.
Yeah, it's just all how it's in the execution, and like all this stuff with them like shrinking down and going into Jonathan's head. It's all just Joseph or whatever, Joseph's head. It's all just sort of like the turning the wheels. It's just like, okay, we got to do this, but ultimately what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get his ass beat.
I do think this two-parter is basically, here's why people like Jotaro. Because he's this.
Yeah, like that one defining moment of like the whole B-Towns, like, I mean, even a casual person be like, if something about it just clicks with them, it's like one of the coolest shit ever. Especially when it's like you see like he's barely like the first shot of the beatdown, like you can barely see Jotaro as he just directly stares, like in the most commanding demeanor. It just as as Platinum's arms, kind of like hides and appears Jotaro's appearance. Like it's too fucking cool.
Well, I mean, like it's also too the fact that Jotaro doesn't like get mad. Like he the whole time he's just like taking it, like and doesn't get upset. He's just like, I'm writing this down, making a note. Okay, all right, checking it twice, and it's like, and even like one time he's even just sort of chuckling. It's like, oh yeah, okay, I see. we'll make a note of that. That's good. That's the best stuff because he's just like, you just know, he's like, he's holding it all inside so that he can explode.
Oh yes,
because that's what stands are for. No longer need to express whatever when you can just have your ghost self do it for you.
Yeah.
So this is by far the longest beatdown of this type that we will see for a while.
Yeah.
There are others that are almost as satisfying, that are also really good, but this is the best one, I think. Not that it's not to say that it's all downhill from here, but this is the standard.
I mean, I would imagine this is probably the scene that probably kind of helped put JoJo in the cultural map in general, I'd imagine.
Maybe.
Well, probably the most popular.
Yeah.
Judging by what I've seen other people say.
Yeah.
I mean, as much fun as, we've had with part 1 and 2, like, I mean, I'm now starting to see something about part 3 that helped JoJo become more popular beyond, like, what was it, part 1 just Fist of the North Star combined with Dracula, and part 2 was, Indiana Jones in a wackier, poppier fashion.
I think I've liked them all, and I do think this was a really good episode, two-parter. I don't know if I would say like it's my favorite moment or anything. I just think it's really good. I mean, I can think of a lot of other amazing Joe moments that have happened in the past, year as well. So but it's very good, and I just think that it's the one that people remember, like because of this moment. It's like a very memorable. moment.
Yeah.
So, shall we talk about Gundam?
Sure.
Mobile Suit
Yeah, we
Gundam,
got it.
Iron-Blooded Orphans, episode 33, Sovereign of Mars. In this episode, Mikolas is like, yo, stand with me and I'll make you guys the rulers of Mars. We're definitely getting out of this well.
Yeah, I mean that's totally not going to turn out badly.
And Orga's just like, sounds good.
Yeah, this
Well,
doesn't sound like I'm going to get betrayed.
he had the meeting. He had a meeting with his family. You know, like just like in The Godfather. He's like
Yes.
listening to all his people. What do you think?
But the problem is that he has surrounded himself with dudes like Mikazuki, who will just do whatever, and some other dudes who think the exact same way. And they're and Maribit's just given up at this point of saying, like, maybe we shouldn't take on Olive Gjallarhorn for the promise of all of Mars.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't really have anyone there to challenge him. Mikazuki's basically there to carry out orders.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's like The Godfather. It's like that scene where Takaki goes, like they're asking everybody, and then Takaki says, I'm going to leave or whatever. That scene, it was just like a scene from The Godfather. You've got Orga at the head of the table, and he's just listening to his minions, like bounce ideas off of him. But he's already decided, and he knows what he's going to. He's the head of the family.
Yeah, I mean, and there's no one there to challenge him at this point.
Yeah, although I mean, I'm taking it to the extreme. I don't think he's really like mean in that way. I don't think his character is that bad. But I'm just saying it just reminds me of a scene from The Godfather.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think it's definitely meant to like sort of draw resemblance to sort of those mafia style, movies and shows and stuff. I mean, how they dress, how they operate. I think not having Biscuits there anymore is going to bite these guys in the ass, because he was like the one guy that would say shit to Orga, like, hey, maybe this ain't a great idea, Orga.
Well, they're sure not going to listen to that one woman. What's her name?
Maribit.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they're not going to listen to her. She's a lady.
She's completely given up. Like, remember last season, she'd be like, guys, maybe we don't have to be... And then this season, she's like, yeah, go kill him, I guess.
That's what you do.
Takaki's like, I'd prefer to not die, thank you very much.
Yeah.
He's the smartest person in this room.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell is he going to stick around for? He knows they're all dead.
And then, like, Mikazuki is like, all right, you're not going to look out for the family, then we're going to go. And it was like, and then somebody else comes by, and he's like, actually, he was being nice to you. That's just how he talks.
Yeah.
Yep. A talky episode.
Mm-hmm.
You always forget like 90% of what they talked about.
Yeah, I guess really, like you already said what had to be said. Like, they've been presented with the offer to become the rulers of Mars if they follow what's his face.
If they follow Not Char.
Yeah.
Or the previous Not Char, because there's a different Not Char now.
And then they're like,
they're both Not Char.
If we do this, then we're no longer like this little group. Suddenly, everyone's going to see us as a big target.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
And no one really plans out that far ahead.
Yeah, they kind of admit, oh, we should have done a chain of command, but they didn't really necessarily really emphasize how much of a screw up that was to begin with. Because you figured maybe they've been smart enough to oh yeah, let's have multiple people make sure everything's in check. But someone seems rather passive rather than having the characters acknowledge just how much of a grave mistake not having that to exist in their organization is.
Was it this episode?
Writing.
Was it this episode or the previous episode that Kudelia was talking to Beardy?
I think it was this episode.
Yeah. Well, he showed up.
Yeah.
In a hospital bed, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I don't remind you of that Gallahorn girl was oh gosh, Mr. Bad Beard Dude, he seemed like a nice guy. I'm like, whatever. Like, thinking look close to a rap sheet, just his demeanor and like, whatever.
I mean, everyone Gjallarhorn is fucked. So of course they're like, oh yeah, the dude with the horrible, terrible dude with the beard. What a nice guy.
What is she, like superhuman or just gifted pilot? Or that's something we have to find out later on.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they haven't explained her yet, so. So what you type in there, B-dubs?
Sorry. My bad. No, I mean, not a whole lot of... Yes, please.
Yes.
Oh, wait, you're going to have to do that again. You both talked at the same time.
No, I haven't introduced the episode title yet.
Oh, okay.
Hunter Hunter episode 7.
You have to transition into the show, though. We can't just go, then have the music play. You know what I mean? You have to say, do you guys want to talk, whatever.
Okay. Do you guys want to talk about Hunter Hunter?
Sure.
Hunter Hunter episode 76, Reunion and Understanding. In this episode, Ging is still a dick.
Mm-hmm. And the opening's got me already of this Chimera Ant arc that everybody's been hyping about for the longest time. Its opening or has got me like, whoa!
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
In this case, good. Because, like, the introduction is already, like, crazy as hell. And that's what I would describe this, kind of seem to hint at what this arc is going to be like.
I'll tell you this much. I have no idea what to expect right now. Like, I know nothing about this.
Oh, you're going to have some fun.
All I know is that there's a bunch of new characters, and there's these big ants.
Yep.
And that's it. That's all I know.
And the ant's got human teeth.
Yeah. It has like a girl's voice, but I don't know anything else. Like when I watch that opening, it is a cool looking opening, but I don't know. I mean, I just see a bunch of new characters, and I don't know anything else. I can't make it out. It's there's no clear. It's not like York New, where there was or whatever the tower thing. It was pretty obvious what was going to happen there. They were going to be in a tournament, but this, I just don't know what's going to happen.
It's the most shonen of all the arcs.
It's also the least shonen of all the arcs in a way.
Structure-wise, though, it's the most shonen.
Yes, structure-wise, it's the most shonen, but execution-wise, it's probably the least shonen.
Yes. So you can expect a lot of 1v1 fights with, these ant dudes.
Yeah, but at the same time, it doesn't end the way or develop the way you think it will in order to get to those 1v1s.
So the episode starts out and we learn that it's not Jean that was sitting there with the fishing pole. It was some other guy.
Yes.
Who has
kite.
some kite. Yeah. And he has some kind of thing that turns into a gun.
His power is hilarious.
It's like basically, a roulette wheel or something.
Yeah, basically he's got a bunch of different weapons, and when he does his Nen, one of them gets summoned at random. And then he's got to use that weapon in the fight, whether it's useful to him or not.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Before he can choose another.
It totally feels like one of those restrictive Nen abilities where something you have to get something bad in your restriction to get something powerful out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, all of his weapons are ridiculously powerful, but they're all also ridiculously specialized.
Yeah. But anyway, so this guy used to be a friend of Gon's dad. Actually was a student of Gon's dad. We get a scene where apparently Gon had met this guy when he was younger. And they believe maybe it was all part of Gene's plan to have this guy ultimately help Gon.
No, he's just a dick.
Yeah, no,
Really?
he's a dick. Yeah, he just didn't want to see Gon unless he came alone.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. He rigged the game. He rigged Greed Island so that if he took a certain card, if he used a certain card to find him, that it would go to this other guy instead. If he brought someone with them, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even really think that was that dicky. It was just sort of like,
He's very shy.
yeah. And the girl, the cyber girl, was kind of saying that. She was like, "Are you really? Did you really do the right thing? Are you sure?"
Was the
Yeah.
twins named Elena or Lana or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Kite
She also
also
didn't.
List.
Yeah.
Wow, I actually remember the Greed.
Kite also tells us that Ging is apparently so awesome that he can get away with everything. Because he's just that awesome.
Supposedly the best hunter in the world, so.
Also, ants.
Ants!
Well, I mean, like we've seen an ant, right? We've seen an ant, and we saw like a little ant get stepped on or shot. But I haven't seen any other ants.
Other than the opening.
So, yeah, except for the opening. And then there was that one bumper that showed a bunch of them attacking a town or something. We haven't seen that scene yet. But yeah, the episode in the middle and then at the end shows some humanoid ant in a cave eating fish and being like, "I got to give birth to something."
The king.
The king, yeah.
I gotta give birth to the king because I'm the queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
And the kite guy was like, "You don't understand. That wasn't just an ordinary ant. That was a chimera ant." And I'm like, "Okay. I guess that'll get explained."
Yep.
Doesn't really go into it.
Why. Well, I suppose they'll eventually explain why this arc is named after them.
Yeah. One of the bumps also showed like a talking koala.
Yep.
And that's not an ant. So I don't know
Yeah,
what
there
that
was
means.
like a bunch of crazy designs of other other animals.
For the arc to be called the Chimera Ants, I saw a lot of characters that weren't ants. So I don't really know. There was also and a cameo from that cat boy from Hellsing Ultimate.
Burst.
What was his name? Heisenberg or something? I can't remember. But a character who looks like him showed up in the opening.
You know, I've actually kind of recently noticed some avatars in social media with that character recently.
Anything else?
About what apparently seemed to notice is the most hyped arc of this show.
Well, they always start slow, don't they?
Well, I enjoyed what I saw. Oh yeah, people were like complaining about like it being retcon or being removed from the first episode, but personally, that didn't really bother me.
Yeah, Kite was in the first chapter of the manga.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
They cut him out for some reason when they did it, and so they had to go back and do a bit of a flashback and whatnot here.
Like the first episode got me into the character in the show right away, so it's like didn't feel like was crucial information missing from his Kite's exclusion.
I guess it would have been neater in a kind of Oda foreshadowing way to have had that character show up, but other than that, it wasn't important.
Yeah, I mean, in a foreshadowing way, that would have been great, but this sort of means that they took that away and they had to go back and sort of hit that up.
Yeah.
I guess you can say the damage was minimal.
Yeah, it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a huge deal.
So, we want to talk about Lupin?
Sure.
Lupin
right.
the Third, Part 4, Episode 22, From Japan with Love.
Hmm.
Yes, they're in Japan suddenly.
Did someone say this was like an OAV?
No, I believe next episode is an OVA episode. I believe this episode is actually straight up from the regular series.
Yeah.
Wow. That's surprising. Because this feels like a one-off
Hmm.
direct-to-video like adventure.
As opposed to most Lupin episodes. Oh, wait.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, like, this is like not even in Paris, though, or wherever, France. This
Hey,
is
man,
like,
it's still anime.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it also introduced like this antagonist who is, and they literally call him the Da Vinci of Japan.
Catchy, I think.
Yep, it's a catchy.
Akechi!
He had like a little like sidekick, and it was basically a joke.
Yep. And this episode plays out like every other Lupin episode. It's like, we caught Lupin. No, we didn't. This guy was a disguise. Except he wasn't. It was actually the guy who we thought wasn't a disguise was the disguise. Twists.
Yeah. There's no way Fujiko could have hit her chest in that Zenigata disguise. It was
Zero
impossible.
chance.
I mean, she managed it though. She's a master of disguise.
Yeah. That's breaking the laws of physics, I think.
That was an enjoyable episode, and yet we're not really talking about it.
Lupin doesn't really have any depth to it.
But it
The
was
most
fun.
interesting thing to come out of Lupin is Action Da Vinci.
Yes.
There's something to be said about that.
Well, I mean, there's also the fact there's constantly double swerves. You know, like
Yeah.
like this one was particularly hilarious. Well, I'm still confused as to which Zenigata was Fujiko and which wasn't.
The one that was locked in the bathroom.
Was Fujiko?
Yes.
Oh, yes, that's what I thought. Okay. Yeah. Because I'm like, that is a brilliant plan. You know, just absolutely fantastic. This guy got hoisted by his own petard. He's like, the woman couldn't possibly outsmarted me. Wait, you mean a woman outsmarted me?
Yeah, I wonder how his female sidekick felt about those comments.
I don't know. Then he takes off his, wig and he's Saitama.
Yeah, I actually did think of that too for a moment. I guess that show really did got people thinking of bald people of that show now.
I don't think this is post One Punch Man though.
Yeah,
No.
this was just. I think that was the joke was that Akechi is supposed to be the super handsome young detective, but the truth is that he doesn't have any.
I wasn't thinking that was their show's intent. I'm just referring to the cultural osmosis as.
Oh, just that you guys
Man.
both thought that he looked like Saitama. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like the bald guy
The sheen of the baldness.
is
That
kind of
got
the
you
Saitama is like personifies that for us now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got nothing else about this. I mean, you kind of covered it. Guess what? They got away.
Oh, I think it's kind of easy to forget that the whole cast is Japanese, even so they're club charting all around the world and don't often dress, except Guillemon. But yeah, it's technically interesting. They're all back in their homeland.
Yeah.
Also, Fujiko with black hair.
It's brown.
Brown.
Red.
Whatever. I don't know, guys. I got nothing.
It actually took what was I don't know, was Base, I think. It was like had the comment about Fujiko when that final scene about seeing Mount Fuji. Had to take it all the way. That surprisingly Lupin didn't. Like
I have to think he said that to her 100 times before.
Like, not to mention the very obvious joke somebody in real life in our forum had to point out.
What, you mean about her Mount Fuji's?
Oh, her being a strong woman, like as strong as Mount Fuji.
She got a pair of them too.
We are bad.
Do we each want to say one word each about Naruto?
No.
Dumb.
Naruto Shippuden episode 183, Naruto Outbreak. World War Z. Zombies.
I want to die.
Or the movie Outbreak. Actually, I think there were some scenes that actually kind of reminded me of that movie. I think.
All I'll say is bring on the cat people.
Yes. And also bring on the cat people in Outlaw Star.
Yay.
Because fuck Naruto. Outlaw Star, episode 14, Final Countdown. In this episode, it's the one with the bomb.
It is.
They have to defuse a bomb. There's some... Why is it every time some terrorist dude is like, I've planted a bomb, and etc., and I'm presenting myself as cute cartoon character in everything?
That's just how it goes.
Yeah. They also called him the Mad Bomber.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was.
Gene, all you have to do is touch him and say, I caught the bomber.
Exactly.
He did that.
Yeah, I liked seeing Suzuka and Aisha kind of break off and like kind of do a little sleuthing on their own.
Yeah.
Kicking some ass.
Because they've literally never been in the ship.
Together, right?
Like,
yeah.
We're halfway through the series, and the entire crew has not been in the Outlaw Star together once.
No, not at the same time. I mean, that's coming, though.
I know, but still.
It's a slow burn.
You would think... I mean, this is a really slow burn.
Yeah. It's just the way the show is. I'm not bent out of shape about Suzuka not being on the ship. She doesn't contribute much anyway.
Well, that's a problem. I know it's kind of an arbitrary thing to be on about, like, well, did they all get in the ship this episode? No, this episode sucks.
Yeah. It's not really. I mean, it's basically they're defusing a bomb and and then like for some reason they use the opening song like in the episode.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's playing from the ship.
It's so weird.
New meta.
It's still a good opening.
He defuses the bomb and then it comes up and it says, "Congratulations."
Congratulations.
Yep.
That lovely English.
Congratulations.
I can't remember anything else from this episode.
The animation was oddly fluid.
Oh yeah.
Asha
it was
was in the apartment. Like nothing was going on yet. It seemed there was a couple like additional frames for some reason.
The whole episode had it actually. I was kind of noticing it. Like even like little shots of when they were on the bridge of the Outlaw Star and a character would like turn their head and motion to someone and it was like 24 frames per second. It was like really smooth and to the point too where like sometimes when shows will have like really fluid animation but then the characters will start to get off model and start to look a little weird, and there was a little bit of that too. Jim especially looked like he was like his face wasn't quite right, but yet he would be like blinking and it would be like film quality animation for some reason. It was weird. I don't know why they would put so much effort into animating the movements in this episode, but I guess maybe they, they gave some young animator this episode and say, "Hey, go for it," because there wasn't like a lot of action or anything. It was just them like looking at screens mostly.
High intensity screen looking.
Yeah.
Intense praying.
Yep.
But it looked cool. Like it looked good. It just was seemed like didn't need to be that way. But that's fine.
Anything else about this episode?
Jim like using different languages to hope they didn't blow up.
Oh yeah, he was like doing some kind of prayer or something.
Twice.
I mean, he praying in everything. He liked that guy. He liked that guy from the Mummy. That when the Mummy's coming for him, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be Jewish. I'm gonna be Christian. I'm gonna just do whatever it takes."
Please save me, non-denominational God.
Yeah.
In the future, people will still like, "Yep, I know how to do this. I've seen them in movies."
I've seen plenty of TV shows with bombs.
Like, I kind of figure that, I don't know, in the future, you think maybe wireless connections would be like the norm, but I don't know, maybe even then it'd be like sometimes a good old wire is still the most sufficient if you want to like make something quick and dirty right away.
Yeah.
Anything else about Toonami for the week?
Do we have to keep watching Black Clover?
Yes.
Oh.
We must
Are you
all
sure?
suffer together, B-dubs.
Hey,
Makes me sad.
I don't know, man. Like, maybe this is a good bet to say that it could be worse, right?
That's what I think.
I mean, how?
I don't know. I mean,
It
it's
could be Tenchi Muyo GXP.
Then again,
I'm not feeling like it's not good. Like I said earlier, it's not good, but it's not like Unicorn. Come on.
I mean, at least Unicorn was pretty. Like it was good to
But this
look
doesn't
at.
look bad either. It just doesn't.
Can't be as bad as it can't be that bad after 2 episodes, but I'm completely checked out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I have a feeling it's going to get way worse though.
I want to see a few more characters show up, and hopefully there will be one or two of them that's entertaining. I think right now we're stuck with just the 2 pro tags, and they're both kind of, bleh.
Well, I mean, there's other people there, and none of them are any good.
No, we talked about this last week. None of these other characters in this first 2 episodes matter. They all go away. Only Asta and Yuno stick around, and then there's like a whole other group of characters who show up. And I think maybe one of those or a couple of those might be interesting. So I'm going to wait it out and see.
I'm going to keep watching, if only so I can complain about it here.
I noticed that some people were commenting about, like, I don't know, it was episode 8. They're like, "Oh yeah, look at these other characters are finally here," and like, yeah, now it's getting good or something. But I'm like, so this is like another situation where like other characters like would hold on to the show because
if there's anything we should realize about this show is that it is aping off Naruto, and just like in Naruto, the other characters are more interesting than the protagonist.
That's what could, and I've heard maybe does happen, is that okay, we introduce the secondary, like the squad, and they're all much better.
Right.
If
and I think that's possible.
I'd still be checked out because I'm like done with that shit. Somebody who can't do the crux, can't handle like putting quality in with the supposed crux of the show. Like, we have enough of that shit with Naruto. It is. I don't fucking want another fucking show where like what's not important, what is supposed to be important is not important. Like, I can't fucking keep doing that. So
I don't blame people for not wanting to watch it. I just feel like I don't know about you guys, but if I'm going to do this show, I've got to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's. But I also do believe, honestly, and just being no joke. I mean, I don't think these 2 episodes aren't as bad as some other shows that we've watched recently. Like, I think that this series could get mediocre, and I say that with as a good thing. The unicorn was nigh unwatchable by me. Like, I couldn't stomach that thing.
This show could hit Blue Exorcist.
Yeah. Blue Exorcist was fine. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Blue Exorcist was not good.
No.
But it wasn't terrible.
Dimension W started out okay and then got kind of unwatchable. This show might be unwatchable and then it might get okay. I don't know.
Well, it does also have that tentpole factor where it's trying to be pushed as the next big anime.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
Oh God, I hope it's not the next big thing.
Yeah, I think...
No. I hope we don't have to continue dealing with Black Clover for years to come.
I mean, SEO is bad enough as it is.
Oh God, there's that too. That's good. We're probably going to get that within the next year and a half.
No, aren't they doing a movie? So we might not actually wind up getting that one.
No, they're doing 2 different TV series.
I thought they were turning one of them into a movie.
No, I don't think so.
Oh God!
Oh come on, guys! Honestly, though, if DeMarco knocked on your door and said, "Hey, I'll give you a choice. We can either keep going with Black Lagoon, or we can get a new season of SAO." Which
keep going with Black Lagoon.
Black Lagoon.
Really?
You said Black Lagoon, not Black Clover.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I mean, you know what I meant. Damn it.
Yes, I would trade Black Clover for SAO for a new season of SAO in a second.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not there yet.
Oh, come on.
Oh, just based on our previous quote-unquote fun watching SAO, I would, because SAO was terrible, but nobody skipped SAO.
Because it was terrible.
There were parts of it too. There were aspects of SEO where you could see quality seeping in. And you're like, oh, the music is really good. And oh my God, that animation was really good. It's like, this is just all kind of mediocre. Black Clover, I mean.
Like, people are already noticeably just leaving for Black Clover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they pushed the ratings?
Well, yeah, ratings, but who cares? Fuck the Nielsen ratings. They don't.
Seriously.
They don't matter.
Yeah, I mean, DeMarco pretty much came out and said, "Hey, we don't care about those because they don't count, streams and DVR and all that shit."
Right.
Like DeMarco's bosses don't mind.
Yeah, I think they have a different metric they look at this point.
It's because the actual content producers now have much better ways of tracking how many people are watching their stuff than Nielsen, who is extremely limited.
Yeah, they're saying that ratings matter, but the Nielsen's aren't a good metric to follow.
Yeah.
Right.
So Time Warner is finally wising up?
I suspect that people are watching a lot more of Toonami in other places other than TV.
Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of people in the thread that, watch through a stream. Like they have access to cable account login, and maybe they don't have the cable box themselves, so they log in and they watch a stream.
Right.
Yeah. I do that sometimes too.
People have been complaining about these TV conglomerates for the longest time about relying so much on Nielsen, but does this mean they're finally wising up?
Well, I think they all try to. It's just they're trying to catch up with the technology and the times. It's hard to track this stuff.
Oh, hopefully they continue to not rely on the Nielsen's.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason we more or less stopped posting that stuff in the thread. I mean, the ratings were like, you're getting an extra half hour. What?
Yeah, like, man, nothing's getting over 1 million. Extra half hour, man. Okay, sure.
I think too a lot more. Well, I mean, the ratings matter, but like the ratings are just an indicator that they use to sell advertising or to get sponsorships.
Yeah.
And so as long as they're getting advertisers and sponsorships, the rest of it just works out.
Yeah, and it's also, they have to we have to consider the time of night. I'm pretty sure Toonami's just winning the entire block simply because there's nothing else on that time on a Saturday night.
Right. It's kind of I don't know if this is true, but it's always been my feeling that if it's like late Saturday night, Sunday morning, evening hours, it's like that's the TV event that's happening every week. There isn't another thing at that time.
Yeah, I mean, occasionally there'll be like a fight or something, but that's every couple of months.
Right.
It's usually just Toonami and not much else is going on. So, you get any kind of sustained ratings and it's probably seen as a win.
Can we talk also briefly about does that commercial for the monster in a box toy keep showing up?
It shows one time during Super, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that would make sense. If any of the Toonami shows are going to be watched by kids, it's going to be Super.
Right. It's so strange that Adult Swim is like selling. It almost feels like a mistake. It's like somebody is like, "Whoops, we put that commercial in the wrong time slot."
Crate creatures, they snort, they fart, they shit.
Yeah. I don't really understand it, but it's really weird.
I'm going to be king of the crate creatures.
King of the loot boxes.
Oh God.
The crate creature king.
Yep.
Anyway, that'll about do it for this episode of the Toonami Gaff podcast. Thank you, BB-Boy20.
No problem.
Thank you, C. Kohler.
No problem.
Thank you, B-Dubs.
Bye.
We'll see you guys next week for episode 84, our last regular episode of the year. Because we have
really?
Yeah, because after that we have, I believe, a Super Marathon and a Cowboy Bebop Marathon.
Oh, yeah. I completely forgot. I made plans that weekend.
Absolutely nothing else new because, why? Now that, even the marathons are the low.
Yeah. Oh, if anyone's going to be out in New York the weekend of the 30th, we're all watching Street Fighter. So, hit up the thread, and the New York era thread, and come on out, Get drunk, watch Street Fighter.
Alrighty.
There's a Street Fighter tournament or something?
No, we're watching the DVD. We got a bar letting us use the back rooms, and we're going to watch Street Fighter.
Oh, if you actually live in New York.
The Jean-Claude Van Damme movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no idea why, but we're all going to get drunk and watch Street Fighter. So if any of you guys happen to be in town, come on down.
Well, I live like the other side of the United States.
Yeah, no, you're probably not going to be able to make it.
I'll have to pass.
Anyway, that'll be it for this episode. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you guys next week. I completely forgot.
Yes, we're over now.
Awkward pause. Good night.
Oops.